Hey guys, how's it going? So today we have a video on kind of a survey, which is weird. I have never really bothered to do videos like this before, but because World of Warcraft is soon to hit 10 years old, somebody has made a survey here and it is asking you 10 questions for 10 years of World of Warcraft. So I found this video out, or this survey out, by a YouTuber called Sala, and he makes World of Warcraft content as well as I think he may do WildStar stuff too. I'm not too sure. I haven't been paying much attention to the YouTubes as of late. So if we look, basically, we don't have to read this because this is basically just telling you what it's about. So the first question is, why did you start playing World of Warcraft? Now, the reason I started playing World of Warcraft is, basically, I used to play a game called RuneScape. Now, I have previously, like in the last year, gone back and played some RuneScape just to see what it's like again. And I used to play this game called RuneScape. And basically, there was a massive kind of like fight between the RuneScape players and the World of Warcraft players to which game was better. And obviously I played RuneScape at the time, so I was totally on the RuneScape bandwagon and would just team up with any RuneScape player and pretend that RuneScape was better than WoW. And in some cases, maybe some people could probably enjoy RuneScape a little bit better. However, now I definitely prefer World of Warcraft over RuneScape. I guess I just kind of lost touch with RuneScape, and I've kind of not really gone back to it as much as I used to play it when I was younger. So why did I start playing? I basically started watching videos to kind of criticize World of Warcraft, which is a really strange thing to do. Like, you wouldn't necessarily think that you'd look up things to complain about, but yeah, I mean, I was a kid once too. So basically, at a short end of the story, I used to have this friend and we used to talk on MSN all the time, and he said that he was playing World of Warcraft. So basically I went out and I bought it and we played together for quite a long time actually. And those were probably the most fun times that I had playing World of Warcraft. So that's why I started playing. Basically, a friend's influence dragged me from RuneScape to WoW, and I'm very glad that it did. What was the first character that you ever rolled? So the first character I rolled, it's kind of a tricky one. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm 100% sure that it was a Night Elf Hunter. And my first Horde character was a Troll Rogue, which is really weird combination. But yeah, a Night Elf Hunter was my first character that I ever rolled, and I loved it. I loved my Night Elf Hunter. I've still got my Night Elf Hunter now, which is crazy. But actually no, I haven't got my Night Elf Hunter. I made another. What happened to my original account is it got hacked, and I never was able to get it back. So unfortunately, I don't have my original account anymore, and I don't have my original Night Elf Hunter. But I do have another Night Elf Hunter that was based after him, because, yeah, he was my first character, and I really enjoyed playing him. So which factors determined your faction choice? At first it was friends. So when I used to play Alliance back in Burning Crusade, it was because of friends. But obviously what happened was I logged onto to a server on WoW, and I basically instantly rolled a Night Elf Hunter. And then my friend was like, no. Come, you've gone on the wrong side. Come to the Horde. The Horde's the better side. And obviously at this point I was like, the Horde's the better side, but the Alliance side looks so much nicer. Like, everything isn't destroyed and made out of wood, and it looks like a civilized sort of group of people. And I did eventually just go over and I rolled a Troll Rogue, and yeah, that's when we played, and that's what basically determined what faction that I played. It was basically because my friend was on the Horde, I decided to go over to the Horde, and when my friend stopped playing, I went back to the Alliance. That was basically it. I do overall prefer the Alliance playing them. I do really like the Horde. It's just that I have a hard time playing on the Horde characters. Just, I don't know, there's something about it. It just doesn't grip me as much as the Alliance does, so I guess that's why I'm an Alliance player as well. So what what has been your most memorable moment in Warcraft and why? Now this is going to sound really weird, but the probably the most memorable is probably my first raid, which was in the Lich King Nax, which went kind of okay, I guess. We got quite far. I think we cleared the military and the plague, I think, or something. I can't remember. I all I know is that I was getting pulled through that instance. Everybody else was so well geared, and I was under geared, and I was a bit of a terrible player. But yeah, that was my most memorable moment. Or the other one would be the time that I tamed Loch Nak. That's how I'm going to say his name. Basically, he is a spirit beast. I've actually got one on my new Night Elf Hunter right now, which is good. Actually, I think the only time that I have had one is on my new Night Elf. So yeah, that was a memorable moment, and that happened in Cataclysm or Lich King. I can't remember exactly when I got him. Obviously, ever since then, though, now I have the Spirit Bear, and that's just as awesome. So, what is your favourite aspect of the game, and has it always been this case? So, my favourite aspect has got to be player versus environment, so PvE. Has it always been this case? Yeah, kind of, but I used to... Right, okay, so what happened was, I went through a stage in Cataclysm, and just Cataclysm, where I did PvP, and I didn't do like a single raid. And the reason for that was I just didn't have the time to join a group, and I didn't really have the time to grind for the item level. So basically I just PvP'd whenever I was online, just PvP'd, and PvP'd some more. Yeah, I think it's always been PvE that's my favourite aspect of the game. Although PvP does have its place and it is quite fun. However, I did jump into a battleground the other day. Sorry about that, guys. I did jump into a battleground the other day and I got my behind handed to me. I need to learn Warlock a lot better before I start playing Battlegrounds with him. Now, do you have an area of the game that you always return to? Now, I'm not sure if this means like a specific leveling zone or kind of like an area. I guess we'll take the question as a specific area. And the area that I always return to is Dalaran. It's my favourite city. I really, really like Dalaran. I really do like Dalaran. It's just... Simple answer, it's a cool city. It's probably my favourite city in the game. So we'll leave that one there because I haven't really got much else to say. So how long have you played, and has it been continuous? How long have I played? Now this is a tricky one to answer, obviously, because I don't have my original account anymore. I would say well in excess of 100 days. Played across all characters and all accounts. Probably even more, but well in excess of 100 days, which is 2,400 hours, I think. I think so. A long time. And has it been continuous? Not at all. I started obviously in the Burning Crusade, about halfway through the Burning Crusade, and then towards the end of the Burning Crusade I kind of fell off and stopped playing, and then when Wrath of the Lich King came out I played that expansion non-stop. When Cataclysm came out I took a break for a little while. About 2 months after Cataclysm's release I picked the game up. I installed it obviously and I went back to the game. I pretty much maxed out a few characters and then left the game again because Cataclysm was a little bit boring, and then I came back before the end of Cataclysm. However, obviously, I didn't do any of the raids or anything, and I did really want to try and do the Deathwing fight before Mists of Pandaria launched. However, I didn't really get around to it, and as everyone was saying that the Deathwing fight was disappointing, I just didn't really have the motivation to sit back and grind the gear and get the item level to actually join the raid finder, because, yeah. So no, it hasn't been continuous, but well in excess of 100 hours. Admit it. Do you read the quest text or not? I don't read the quest texts. I don't think I've ever read the quest texts unless it's something really cool like that catches my eye. But usually, if I want to learn about the lore, I watch Nobel's videos, or I Google it, or I just find it on YouTube. Reading is I get distracted too easy, and yeah, I just prefer listening to somebody to read it to me so that I can take it all in, and then I might re-listen to it once or twice after that just to make sure that I've got everything. Are there any regrets from your time in game? The only regrets that I have is stuff like not killing Deathwing when it was still valid content, even though Raid Finder wasn't exactly the hardest thing in the world, and I have since gone into the Mists of Pandaria Raid Finder, and yeah, it's definitely not difficult. It's very, very simple and easy, but I mean, I do regret not going and killing Deathwing when it was a big part of the game. And the last question, what effects has Warcraft had on your life outside of gaming? Now, kind of none at all. I mean, if my friends invite me out, I don't kind of say no to them just to stay in and play WoW. Unless the only time that I would actually turn a friend down and play WoW is if it's raining outside, like really bad, and they want to go play basketball or baseball or something, or football, and I can't bring myself to go outside in the rain, get drenched, get cold, and then get like ill for a few days. That's the only time that I'd choose World of Warcraft over real life friends. And yeah, I mean, every Friday I go out and play baseball, and then every other time friends invite me out, and then I go to the gym. So it's one of the situations where if you let it grip you in everyday situations, then it probably will. But if you put boundaries there, so you only play maybe all day when it's raining, you can't really do anything else. Like, you can't go out, you can't play basketball, football, baseball, whatever your sport of choice is. Hockey for you Canadians, I really enjoy hockey. Can't wait till October and the hockey season starts back up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it really hasn't affected my life outside gaming at all, really. But yeah, that's all the questions, guys. I'll probably go in and fill these in later on just to basically send off the poll for them. If you're interested in leaving your answers if you play WoW, then leave a comment or a video response if you can still do that. I'm not even sure if you can still leave video responses, but definitely do that. I'd love to hear your answers. So until next time, guys, bye-bye.